Good evening and welcome to Stamford Bridge for full commentary of this FA Cup fourth round tie between Chelsea and Aston Villa under the lights here in West London. It is a pretty sizable crowd considering it is an FA Cup game on a Friday evening. The light show is in full swing. We have two large flamethrower type devices that are blasting up into the West London sky, and this is a match between two Premier League sides who have both gone strong tonight, which isn't something that you could always say about the way that top flight clubs take this particular competition. The team news then for you: Chelsea with Georgia Petrovic in goal. They have a back four from left to right of Alfie Gilchrist, Benoit Badiashile, Thiago Silva and Axel Disasi, with Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. The two holding midfielders, Raheem Sterling, Conor Gallagher and Noni Madueke, are behind Cole Palmer up top. Gilchrist's inclusion was a late change to proceedings, with Levi Colwill picking up a problem during the warm-up. As for Villa, Emi Martinez between the six for them. Moreno, Longley, Konsa and Cash comprise their defensive line. McGinn, Kamara, Louise and Diaby are the midfield four, with Yuri Tillemans just behind Ollie Watkins. Delighted to have Matt Jarvis alongside me for this one tonight. And first of all, Matt, as I was saying, it's not always the case that Premier League sides go strong in the FA Cup, but these are two very strong looking lineups.
Absolutely. What a great opportunity for both of these teams to progress, and if you look at the other games that are in tonight and tomorrow, it's a real opportunity for them to progress to the final stages. So it's great for us to watch two teams that are at full strength, really. So it should be a really entertaining game.
And I know that Mauricio Pochettino's been talking about just how desperate he is to pick up a trophy in England. Doesn't want to talk about potential signings coming through the door here this month. It's all about focusing on silver, and of course they've already got one final in the diary, having seen off Middlesbrough quite comprehensively here in the week.
Yeah, I mean, it's so important, especially for the players and the manager to get on a good run. Yes, it was a comfortable win in the end, but that breeds confidence, and this team is all about confidence at the moment. They're in a good run of form into a final, which is what everyone wants, including the fans. And tonight is another opportunity to get to the next round and put yourself into another opportunity to potentially get to another final.
Two changes for Villa then from that goalless draw with Everton a couple of weeks ago. Matty Cash and Yuri Tillemans for Diego Carlos and Leon Bailey. Anything that surprised you about those alterations?
To be honest, no. I think Cash is obviously, he's been outstanding for them. He hasn't been able to get himself back in because Konsa's done so well, but yeah, Cash coming back in is a real outlet for them. What he brings going forward in that team is hugely important. And if you look at the rest of it, Tillemans has come back in because he's been injured, so he's a top player, and they have missed him. So it's another opportunity for him to get some minutes into his legs and to show everyone, especially the manager, why he's so important.
Well, this is one of four FA Cup fourth round ties that is taking place on this Friday evening. Bournemouth are already through to the next round of the competition after they thumped Swansea on Thursday. Bristol City against Forest also kicks off in a couple of minutes' time. Sheffield Wednesday against Coventry starts at 7:45 as well. And at 8 o'clock it is Spurs against Manchester City, and that game is live over on 5 Live for you at the moment. So here at Stamford Bridge then, the stage is pretty much set. The two sets of players congregating towards the halfway line here. It has been a fairly mild day in West London. Beautiful blue skies overhead, which means there's a crisp feel to the temperatures now, and it's always quite nice and traditional, isn't it, to see both teams wearing their traditional kits as well. Villa claret and blue, white shorts and claret socks, and Chelsea in the blue shirts, blue shorts and white socks.
Yeah, it's really an exciting game this evening. I think, as we mentioned about Chelsea, their last performance, scoring 6 goals, they're on a good run of form, but Aston Villa have a really good record here at Stamford Bridge, so both teams will be looking and thinking this is a real good chance for them to put in a good performance first and foremost, but to really get some goals in their team and to get through to that next all-important next round.
Yeah, it will potentially open up for some teams after this round of the competition, as they will be into the last 16, and there will certainly be some sides from outside of the top flight taking their place in that last 16 as well. So it is going to be Chelsea to get us on the way, kicking from right to left in this first half. Cole Palmer, who is the man banging form at the moment, is going to get the game on the way. Our referee, by the way, is Robert Jones, and we do have VAR in operation. John Brooks is watching over the replays tonight. So Rob Jones ensures that both goalkeepers are ready and blows his whistle, and Cole Palmer immediately sends it all the way back to Georgia Petrovic in the Chelsea goal. There was a late change to the Chelsea lineup, with Levi Colwill suffering a problem in the warm-up, so Alfie Gilchrist, the youngster, is starting on the right side of the Blues back line, and Chelsea have it just outside their own penalty area with Axel Disasi. Disasi by the corner of the penalty area, goes back to his keeper Petrovic. No pressure on the ball, so Petrovic, decked out all in black, can just roll his foot over the ball and now roll it out to Disasi on the corner of the Chelsea penalty area. Chelsea just trying to size up what Villa's shape is and whether they're going to come and close them down or not, and it's a game of cat and mouse at the moment really, because Villa not really showing their hand either, so the ball has just been coasted around the edge of that Chelsea penalty area before Thiago Silva switches it wide to the right hand side. Disasi has it now into the feet of Gilchrist, who's quickly closed down. Good shape this from Villa. Everything so far has been played inside the Chelsea half with a minute on the clock. Now it's brought forwards by Badiashile, poked over the top, looking for the run of Conor Gallagher, who took it nicely, and then the ball just ran away from him. Lovely ball through, and Conor Gallagher puts his hands to his face because he knows that there was an opportunity for him to have a shy at goal.
Absolutely. If his first touch was correct and he get his body in front of Konza, I think he had the opportunity to get a shot off, but he just gave the defender a chance to get his arm and get his body across him, and he just nudged him out of the way.
So that reshuffle for Chelsea, meaning that Gilchrist has gone across to the right side of the Chelsea backline, and Badiashile is starting on the left with Disasi and Thiago Silva, the centre half pairing for Chelsea. It did look as though Badiashile was going to be operating at centre half and Disasi on the right side until Colwill was struck down with that hamstring problem. Yet another hamstring injury. They are very much on vogue this season.
It's so disappointing. I mean, the Chelsea fans must be thinking, come on, give us a chance. Both fullbacks in Chilwell and James are out. Now you've got Colwell's out, but they have got a good squad at the moment, and they are playing well. And it will be interesting to see this, because the way Aston Villa have been setting up, Diaby and Watkins have actually been like two centre forwards. They've stayed in the middle, and you've got McGinn's on this right hand side. So I think, as you said, it's just they're sizing each other out and seeing what each other are going to be doing in this game.
Madueke sizing up the Villa backline and getting it into Conor Gallagher by the byline. His cutback is intercepted by Boubacar Kamara, who has it on the left side for Aston Villa, deep inside Villa territory. Bit of a risky pass in field. He's got away with it though, and even better than that, Douglas Luiz sashaying forwards, and then he's clattered in full flight, and the referee has pulled it back for an earlier challenge, so Villa will have a free kick deep inside their own half.
Yeah, very confident play at the back from Aston Villa. They won the ball back, and then it was like dancing feet in the middle there from Douglas Luiz, just in the last bumping into Caicedo to get his free kick. But it is going to be an interesting way of play.
And the first time that Villa have really managed to get forwards now as well, and in centre field it was getting set for a strike at goal, but bounces through to Petrovic, who makes a safe gather. But early stages, it feels like it's almost a spot of shadow boxing between the two sides as they're trying to work out the game plans of the respective opposition.
Yeah, Aston Villa as well, right at the spot. When Chelsea were just passing it along the edge of their box, they didn't look to engage, they didn't look to press, they just stayed back. And it was as if it was like, right, okay, let's sit back, wait until they get closer to the halfway line. Once they do, then we go and press. But their shape is very compact. They're all doing it from right to left. McGinn on this right. Everyone's shuffling over, and it's a real tight area where all of the Aston Villa players are.
That is Matt Jarvis with us on 5 Sports Extra. Chelsea 0, Aston Villa 0 with just over 4 minutes gone at Stamford Bridge. And no real chances of note so far. As I was saying, it's a case of both sides almost feeling each other out at the moment. It's swept to the left-hand side. First touch for Raheem Sterling this evening. Held up by Matty Cash. Gets away from him, Sterling. Little jink as well, and he managed to escape the attention of McGinn, but the pull into Enzo Fernandez was red, and Emi Martinez now has got it inside his 6-yard box. His clearance is straight down the throat of Badia Shield, though, who plays it to Thiago Silva, and Chelsea have it on halfway. Now Gilchrist over the halfway line into the feet of Madueke, gives it back to Alfie Gilchrist, who says there was no forward pass onto him, so had to retreat to Disasi, who plays it to Thiago Silva inside the centre circle. Badia Shield as Chelsea work it from right to left, and Badia Shield's ball in towards Enzo Fernandez, who had Boubacar Kamara right on his back, so Chelsea retreating now. And you're right, Matt, Villa are just sitting off and saying to Chelsea, right, what have you got? Are you going to be able to play through us?
Yeah, well, they're very narrow as well. All the space for Chelsea is on the wide. You've got Sterling and Madueke on the other side. They've both got their shape very wide, and Aston Villa are just holding out the middle. Can't play through us. They have to go wide, and it's really hard for Chelsea to find that pass through the middle. Every time they just going from side to side, and every time they play that one ball through the middle, Aston Villa are onto it.
Some very dicey play at the back again from Villa with Concert and Longley and Martinez.
Martinez, he's controlled that so well. He's literally on the goal line.
On the line. And if something had gone wrong there for the Argentine, then it would have been 1-0 Chelsea. As it is, still scoreless with 6 minutes gone and no chances of notice. Douglas Luiz spins and comes up towards halfway, left side of the pitch, lofted ball forwards. It's an absolute beauty as well, and Moreno has managed to bring it down inside the area, gets to the byline, gets the cross in. Disasi with a thigh away that goes away as far as the edge of the box, and now over in the area goes Yuri Tielemans. I don't think there was anything in it. The Villa fans, who are sizable in their number, because with this being a cup tie, the away allocation is bigger than it usually is, and they are occupying the entire end behind Emi Martinez's goal, but I don't think any of them seriously thought there was a penalty in that.
No, it was actually really good defending by Conor Gallagher on the edge of the box. The ball got cleared and he went to control it, and it bounced through to McGinn on the edge of the box, and he's sort of slid to get the first one, and then he's inside the box, and he even managed to get another flick the other side of McGinn to get the ball out. So really good defending.
Goalless here between Chelsea and Villa, likewise Bristol City and Nottingham Forest, and Sheffield Wednesday against Coventry. They were also 7:45 kickoff. Spurs against Manchester City gets underway in just under 10 minutes time, and there is full commentary of that on 5 Live should you wish to listen. Here is Thiago Silva though into Enzo Fernandez. Phony war early on between Chelsea and Aston Villa, and then a slightly phony pass from Enzo Fernandez which ran away from Disasi, but no harm done as Gilchrist collects, and Chelsea are in possession once again with Thiago Silva deep inside Chelsea territory, and again Watkins and Diaby just sitting off, not pressing but not retreating fully, but Chelsea have scooped it over the top. Madueke on the right hand side, closed down by Moreno, held up by the defender, and Madueke now gets the ball in, and that's a good piece of defending from Clement Longley to get his boot behind it, but at the expense of the first corner of the game.
Yeah, and it was only one ball over the top. Madueke, he made a good run in behind, had the pace to get onto the ball, forced it down the line, got his right foot cross in, and it's been put out for a corner. But I'm just surprised with the shape of Aston Villa. They are definite 4-4-2, very narrow, and Chelsea are finding it very hard to get through the middle, but loads of space down the wing.
Lovely stuff out wide from Palmer. And now it's back with Raheem Sterling. This is on the right side for Chelsea. Madueke with a chance to burst to the byline, gets it in, came off a couple of Villa players and rebounded favourably for Unai Emery's side, and now it should be run clear by Moussa Diaby on the left hand side. He goes infield to John McGinn, who collects under pressure though from Enzo Fernandez, and Villa have worked that out from the back really well. Watkins clips it wide to Diaby, who kept it in brilliantly. Chelsea have plenty of blue shirts back there though, so Villa's progress is somewhat stunted. Nice swivel and go though from John McGinn in centre field. Still going McGinn, great run this. John McGinn was clipped, and play is continuing because there's an advantage for Villa here, and now Matty Cash has sort of said to the referee actually we'll take that free kick, because instead of motoring forwards he stopped and looked up at the referee Rob Jones, who has not only awarded a free kick but he has also got the yellow card out for Thiago Silva.
That is really, really good play from John McGinn in the middle of the park. He showed great feet, but also strength to get away from, I think it was Gallagher and then Enzo. And he's just been taken out 10 yards out of the box. But the referee done well, played advantage, and just in the end pulled it back. I think Matty Cash was looking at it, had the ball at his feet and was looking around going, actually there's not really anything on, let's get the free kick at the edge of the box.
I don't know if you watch rugby at all, Matt, if that's your sort of thing. So in that sort of situation, the referee can sometimes say they're playing an advantage, but if the player decides that there's none in it, they basically stop playing and then they get the penalty. And that's essentially what Matty Cash did there. He said, no thanks, we'll take the free kick, we don't want the advantage, and the referee blew and then got out the yellow card. So they decided this was a more favourable option for them than continuing in open play. And John McGinn from 25-30 yards out from goal. It's a central area which actually makes it a bit trickier if you want to try and go for some dip and bend with the effort, but McGinn is in conversation with the Villa players that have infiltrated the Chelsea wall, and almost every single Chelsea outfield player is in this wall in some measure. It is one of the longest that I've ever seen, because you've got about six Chelsea players, well, 3 Villa players and then another Chelsea player tagged on at the end for good measure as well.
It is a good area to take this though.
Who's going to strike this?
I'm going with McGinn because he won the free kick.
John McGinn. Oh, and they've played it short and caught Chelsea napping here. Clipped in by Moreno, and the header from Tielemans is tipped over by Petrovic. Well, they caught everybody out there with the free kick routine. Beautifully worked, lifted into the area. Tielemans' header down into the turf and tapped away to safety by Georgia Petrovic. The first big chance of the game is Aston Villa's.
What a great opportunity. I think Tielemans has got a score there. He's got a free header at the far post. He did everything that he wanted to do, heading it down, but he headed it right down into the floor. It wasn't a good enough angle into the goal, but really well drilled training ground free kick.
McGinn into Diaby, edge of the area, goes for goal, deflected and in. Aston Villa lead. Douglas Luiz got the final touch. It was going in anyway, but from point blank range he's blasted into the net, and Villa have the lead at Stamford Bridge. They had the big chance a moment or so ago, and now they have their noses in front. Pinball in the area, the ball looping over the stranded Georgia Petrovic. It was drifting in anyway, but Douglas Luiz made absolutely sure, and it's Chelsea 0, Aston Villa 1.
Well, we just saw a really good training ground free kick by Aston Villa, and straight away they get the corner and they take it early. They've worked on this, and it was McGinn again that's looking to have a shot, and he's just played that little inside ball to Diaby, who's had a touch onto his good left foot, let a great shot. It ricocheted, but Douglas Luiz doesn't know much about the first one, but he made perfectly sure that it was going in just on the line. But you got 2 opportunities there from Aston Villa, and they deserve that, just purely and simply from the first training ground routine free kick.
Well, VAR is checking a possible handball in amongst everything that went on there, and I did notice just out of the corner of my eye that the ball wasn't on the centre circle, because Georgia Petrovic had it in his hands, and he looks very, very confident that he's going to be taking a free kick here from just outside the 6-yard box, rather than having to hoof it forwards for Chelsea to take a restart.
Well, if they're checking it, there's obviously something. I mean, we couldn't see from here, he's the other side, but it did ricochet pretty quick. He's either it'll be very interesting to watch and see if he's actually put his arm towards the ball, or if it's just hit him. But as you say, Petrovic is having none of it. He's keeping the ball, and he's thinking it's definitely a free kick in just outside the 6-yard box.
Well, Rob Jones has got his finger to his ear. He's in conversation with John Brooks, and the decision is that there was a handball because the symbol has been made by the referee Rob Jones, and it is a handball and a free kick for Chelsea just inside their own area.
Wow. I think the Chelsea fans are very pleased with that.
Unai Emery on the edge of his technical area, arms folded, looking out and then looking up to the heavens. Mauricio Pochettino with a wry grin on his face as VAR comes to his side's rescue. Just about to see a replay of the incident now, and it comes off the arm of Douglas Luiz and then rebounds into the net off his arm. So, yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. So, Chelsea reprieved. Quarter of an hour played. Chelsea 0, Aston Villa 0. Douglas Luiz with the ball in the net, but it came off his arm as he then tapped into the unguarded net, so it doesn't stand. Badiashile then for Chelsea. Down the line looking for Sterling on the left. Cash comes across to cut him off. Sterling tries to nick it around him. Cash good firm though, and now gets the ball forwards towards Diaby. That disallowed goal has just raised the temperature a bit here after what had been a bit of a flat start to the game. Thiago Silva, who's on a yellow card for falling down John McGinn when he was in full flight, has the ball in towards Badiashile, and now Caicedo, and Chelsea are boxed into a bit of a corner here on the left side of their defence. Caicedo tries to wriggle away from a challenge. Douglas Luiz has managed to push it against Caicedo, so it's going to be a throw Villa's way, roundabout level with the Chelsea penalty area. Matt Jarvis.
Yeah, Chelsea, they did have to wake up there. All their passes were all around the back four, side to side. They didn't have any passes through the middle. It all got cut out by Aston Villa, and Villa now they've played some really good stuff. Even when they've won the ball back in the defensive third, they've passed it out really well through the lines. Some really good individual play, and then their last couple of attacks, it looks really threatening.
Sterling feeding Enzo Fernandez on the left in towards centre field. Cole Palmer took it wonderfully, sweeps it wide. Madueke! Great save by Emi Martinez. Beautiful Chelsea move, slicing through Aston Villa. Madueke's effort lacked a little bit of venom, but it was still a smart stop from Martinez.
Oh, that again was straight to the other end. That's really woke Chelsea up now. Sterling with really good flicks on this left hand side out to Enzo, who played into Palmer, and I almost thought he wanted to have the shot, but he laid it perfectly weighted to Mazuaki to have it on his left side. And as you say, it wasn't the best strike. I think he tried to place it into the far corner, but he could have lifted it. He could have tried to curl it over Martinez's leg, but give credit to the goalkeeper. He's made a really good save, really good and important save for his team there.
The Chelsea coming to life after that goal that Villa thought had put them ahead was chalked off, so it remains 0-0 here in West London. It's goalless in all of the other games as well. Bristol City against Nottingham Forest and Sheffield Wednesday against Coventry also kicked off at 7:45, and Spurs against Manchester City has just got underway as well, and you've just seen a replay of that, Matt.
Yeah, it's a really well-weighted pass by Palmer, and it's perfect, and he's sort of hit it into the ground. He just needed to just lift it slightly into that far corner. I bet if he hits that in training, it goes in 9 out of 10 times.
Chelsea with a bit between their teeth as Cole Palmer goes for goal now, but the side-footed effort, a bit like Madueke's strike a couple of minutes ago, didn't really have much bite about it, and that was a very comfortable save for Martinez to make.
Yeah, I think he's from the one that he thought about shooting to start with and passed it. That one he's decided to take it on himself, and Madueke's looked at it as well, and he's shaking his head because he's thinking, I was in a much better position to have that shot, but Palmer's thinking, well, you had your shot, I wanted mine.
The two players that both scored in the week. Palmer in fact got 2 in that dismantling of Middlesbrough in the second leg of their Carabao Cup semi-final. Madueke also on the score sheet, given away to Palmer inside the Villa box, and Emi Martinez has come to Villa's rescue with a big save. Caicedo keeps it going for Chelsea, but you expected Cole Palmer to absolutely bury that.
Well, it's unbelievable. What an opportunity for Palmer. He had the similar thing against Middlesbrough, and he took it. This time he's not taking it, but you can't give the ball away inside the box in your defending shape. It's incredible.
Madueke now on the right side, ball into the air. It came off the head of Douglas Luiz, and Emi Martinez scampering across to try and prevent it going behind for a corner. Can't do so Chelsea will have themselves a corner kick.
Aston Villa are a little rattled. They give the ball away. They've looked so comfortable at the back, but it was Longley that gave the ball away at the edge of the box, and then since then they've looked shaky. Even Martinez there, I even thought he could have just caught it, but he's pushed it wide for a corner.
Well, they got away with one a bit earlier on, didn't they, Aston Villa, when they were knocking the ball around just inside their own area, virtually on the goal line, and this time they very nearly came a cropper there.
Yeah, there is playing out from the back, and then there's playing out from the back. That is very dangerous.
Madueke to take this resulting corner then, just under 20 minutes gone. Both sides still looking for the opening goal of the game, and it's not going to come from that corner because Madueke's delivery doesn't clear the first man. Chelsea pick up the loose ball with Caicedo, plays it square in centre field to Conor Gallagher. Gallagher receives it back once again. Douglas Luiz goes to close him down in a slow, measured way, and now Caicedo has spotted the run of Sterling on the right side. Sterling skips away from the challenge, still Raheem Sterling, blocked off well, and it's going to be another Chelsea corner. John McGinn spotted the danger and got across and got his body in the way.
Yeah, it's down the flanks where Chelsea are getting all this joy, and it's Sterling who's gone onto the right hand side this time, just cuts inside through the legs, and he has the opportunity to cross, and it just gets blocked for another Chelsea corner. But they really are putting the pressure on now.
So it will be a corner kick for Chelsea, which Madueke is over to take, and they've gone short this time, Chelsea. Palmer goes all the way to the edge of the area. Raheem Sterling has it now. This is on the right side of the pitch for Chelsea. Palmer backwards of square to Sterling. First time whip ball in is blocked by Matty Cash, who's gone down. I think he took the full force of that in the face. Villa have possession with Watkins, who's run into traffic in the shape of Sterling, and now it's blasted up towards halfway. Diaby can't take it down because Conor Gallagher has read it, and Enzo Fernandez has it and then knocks it against Douglas Luiz to get Chelsea the throw. And it might be stopped here because Matty Cash, I think, is still suffering after getting in the way of the ball in.
Yeah, Sterling's put the cross in. He was only a few yards away. It's straight on the back of the head, so he's just taken a few moments to get himself over back into this right back position.
Cash comes across then to that right back area. 0-0 between Chelsea and Villa, midway point in the first half, but both sides have had their sights of goal, but we still await the opening goal of the game, as we do in all of the FA Cup fourth round ties taking place this evening. Same amount of time gone at Bristol City against Forest, and Sheffield Wednesday versus Coventry, while they're only 5 minutes in at Spurs against Man City. Sterling away on the left, gets away from Cash, cuts it back, asks for a handball against Cash, don't think it was, and then Cash stopped the ball and Martinez came to gather it. Chelsea hopefully asking for a back pass there, but I think it was just clever play from Cash. He stopped the ball going towards goal and then allowed Martinez to come and collect.
Yeah, I think they were cheering for trying to get a penalty for a handball to start with and then the pass back, but neither of them were the correct decision. But Sterling again using his pace, getting in behind Cash. I think Cash thought he was going to have a touch, but he didn't. He headed it forward and got across him, and it was just a cutback that just wasn't quite in the right position.
Mauricio Pochettino urging Benoit Badiashile to just take his time and calm things down, but the pass to Enzo Fernandez was too telegraphed, and Kamara sends it forwards to Ollie Watkins, who's allowed to turn. He's got so many Chelsea players around him. Caicedo was the one who leapt in to make the challenge to win it back, but Villa have managed to wrestle possession back from them, and they have it in centre field now with Douglas Luiz. Square to Kamara, gets it back to Douglas Luiz, and now bringing it forwards is Ezri Konsa. Cash's ball towards the edge of the area was intelligent, but Diaby wasn't quite on the same page until Thiago Silva crashes it out of play.
Yeah, the width is going to be a problem for Aston Villa unless Cash and Moreno get themselves up the pitch, because Diaby and Watkins are so narrow, and then McGinn's in there as well, and he's supposed to be their right winger or right midfielder at the moment. So it's trying to get their best players in the correct position on the pitch to get on the ball, and at the moment it's all very narrow.
Matt Jarvis with us on 5 Sports Extra, where it is Chelsea 0, Aston Villa 0 with 24 minutes played at the Bridge. Thiago Silva judges the flight of a long ball forwards perfectly, but it's not a perfect header because he's given it straight to Diaby, a couple of yards outside the Chelsea box, and he's now been hauled down. So Villa have got themselves a free kick in a pretty inviting position, and it was quite interesting that Rob Jones, the referee, after what happened with Ivan Toney last weekend, quickly pointed to where the free kick was scheduled to be taken from, put the foam down, and he's keeping a pretty beady eye on it to try and make sure that no advantage is gained. You never did anything like that, did you, Matt? Try and move the ball a couple of yards when the ref wasn't looking?
Unfortunately, I don't think I ever got the opportunity to take the free kick that I'd won. I think we had what they call specialist free kick takers, but Diaby sort of ended up about 5 yards away from where the ball's been put, so the referees decided no, it's been moved back. But it's a reasonable position here for especially a left foot of McGinn to take this opportunity on.
So John McGinn, will he go for goal with his left foot, or will Douglas Luiz swing it in with his right to try and pick out someone in claret and blue? Or is it going to be the double bluff once again, as they did earlier, that caught Chelsea out and nearly led to the opening goal of the game? Taking their time here, Villa. Tielemans in an offside position. It's knocked off for McGinn to strike, and it's rising over the top of the crossbar. But again, it's obviously something that they've worked out in the training ground. They do focus a lot on their set pieces, Aston Villa. It's served them well over the years, and they had an idea there that almost came off.
No, absolutely, I really like it. You know, there was sort of about 4 different movements. You had, I think it was Tielemans who was in front of the goalkeeper. You had Matty Cash down the right. McGinn ran to go over it. Douglas Costa then rolled it back to McGinn, and he had a really good strike from right on the edge of the box, really. But he's just blasted over. But I really like and enjoy the different setups that they're doing with these set pieces, corner kick routines, free kick routines, and they're actually getting joy with it, which is the main focus.
Tomorrow on 5 Live, by the way, from 8:30 in the morning, commentary of the Australian Open Women's Singles Final with Sabalenka against Queen Wen. And then at 12, you can join Mark Chapman for build-up and commentary from Ipswich against Maidstone United. Are we going to get another big FA Cup shock story in that game? And then it will be Everton against Luton Town that follows in the 3 o'clock commentary from the FA Cup. Here in the FA Cup, still waiting for the breakthrough between Chelsea and Villa, with just over a quarter of an hour of the first half remaining, and Sterling chasing a ball over the top. Emi Martinez comes herring out of goal, judged it well and knocks it out of play. Good keeping. Very good keeping. I actually thought that Sterling may have got that, but Martinez really quick off his line, out of his box, and did well to get the ball out for a throw-in. Chelsea with Disasi in the centre circle, knocks it short to Gilchrist back to Disasi, square pass to Badiashile. This is all just inside the Villa penalty area. Chelsea moving it just inside the Villa half, rather. Chelsea moving it from side to side on the halfway line, and Disasi collects and now plays it to Gilchrist. His pattern of play that we've seen quite a bit, with Chelsea just waiting for their moment and then hitting that sort of lofted ball over the top when they've tried to catch the Villa offside trap out. Yeah, it's all slowly at the back for Chelsea, but it's that long diagonal. They're keeping the width, because that's where Aston Villa, they're so narrow with their 2 strikers and their 4 narrow midfielders. The width is where they're getting the joy, and it's Sterling, or both the wide players are making that diagonal run towards goal, and they're getting the joy of just that one ball over the top, because when you've got that pace, defenders are so scared to be done in behind, and if there's grass to run into, then that's where Chelsea are getting their joy. It's going to be a throw for Villa in their left-back area, which Moreno will take, just checking with the referee where it's due to be taken from, and that is pretty much spat-bang level with the Villa penalty area. Moreno looking for an option, no one in claret and blue giving him one at the moment, and Chelsea frustrated with how long he's taking over this throw, eventually hurls it backwards to Longley. He nearly put it out of play. Longley now on the byline, closed down by a cluster of blue shirts, has smacked it up towards the centre circle, but it's met by Badiashile. Madueke with the intelligent dummy to let it run for Conor Gallagher, wide on the right, infield now to Caicedo, centre field. Villa with enough claret and blue back to ensure that Chelsea don't have too much room to work with, so indeed Chelsea forced to retreat, and they're back in the centre circle with Thiago Silva.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that Chelsea are missing at the moment, when they get it wide and they just think, I can just put this in, it's a great area to put a cross in. They don't have that main centre forward that's going to go and win that ball in the air. They have to try and make these passes out wide. They have to, when they get it wide and in behind, they have to have that cutback or that ball that's just played on the ground for one of their players like a Sterling or a Palmer to get on the end of it.
Here is Sterling on the left-hand side, standing up Matty Cash, got away from him and McGinn, and now lays it off for Enzo Fernandez, corner of the penalty area on the left for Chelsea. Badiashile now has it, and he's forced to check backwards. Villa have done that well, got in the Chelsea players' faces when they've been in an advanced area and ensured that they've had to go backwards.
Yeah, it's any time that Chelsea try and play through the middle, the midfield is packed. The Diaby and Watkins are right on the midfielders' toes as well. They're very compact. They're in like you've got two lines on the pitch at the moment, and the whole team is within them two lines. It is very well drilled.
Part of what Unai Emery has brought to Villa, who have got the most amount of points in the Premier League that they've ever had at this stage of a top flight season since it became the Premier League. That's the job that the Spaniard has been doing since assuming the reins at Villa Park. And they've still got European football to look forward to next month, through to the last 16 of the Europa Conference League. They won't find out who they're playing in that until the knockout round playoffs have taken place a little bit earlier on in the month. Here is Palmer, meanwhile, getting to the byline for Chelsea, and back across goal, and Martinez blocks from Madueke. Well, the Villa keeper earning his money once again. He's come to their rescue a couple of times now this evening. Gallagher scoops it back out to Sterling, who took it down nicely with his right boot and now tries to have a dart against Cash again. They're doubling up on him with McGinn over there helping out the fullback. Madueke's got it though, and having worked it out from underneath his feet nicely to give himself the chance to have a shot at goal, it was a horrible slice that went a long way wide.
Yeah, unfortunately it was on his right foot rather than his more natural left foot, but again it's Sterling out on this left hand side who plays a really nice ball in behind for Palmer, who's made a great run on the inside the box, who gets on the end of it, and his ball across goal is, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, they have to do that ball that's cut back or just slid along the ground, and he slid it along the ground, and I think it's Moreno that actually passes it back to Martinez and makes a great save. I don't think it was a Chelsea player that got on the end of it.
Up towards Yuri Tielemans, who felt that he was fouled. In fact, it was Ollie Watkins who is remonstrating with the referee for not getting the free kick to go his way. Chelsea with Badiashile back towards Thiago Silva, deep in the Chelsea half an hour played then at the bridge, goalless, and have been some chances, although there's no chance for Chelsea to do anything with this move because the flag has been raised for offside.
Yeah, you've got to look along the line. If you're a wide player, you've got to look along the line there, because it was really clever thinking from Enzo there. He's first ball into it, he's just whipped it from the left hand sort of defence where the left back is. He whips it over to the right wing, and he's in, and they're 2v1 against the fullback.
Cash for Villa up towards halfway, and Diaby couldn't make it stick because Thiago Silva was on him. Enzo Fernandez halfway inside Villa territory to Conor Gallagher, who's buffeted from behind by Yuri Tielemans. He felt that Gallagher dived, referee didn't. Chelsea in a hurry, get it back on the way with Gilchrist switching it wide to Madueke on the right side. Down the line for Gallagher, clever run, was he onside? Ball in is gathered safely by Emi Martinez, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Oh, it's and again a really good position to get into. Gallagher, who's done so well to run in behind. behind. That's where they're getting their joy, running in behind, but he's wasted that. He's tried to just smash the ball across, and it's so close to Martinez where Palmer's there. All he wants is that ball across on the floor, and he's one touch straight in, his first time straight in, he's got a shot on goal inside the 6-yard box. Gallagher's just overhit it straight into Martinez.
Well, that's going to be a free kick for Chelsea just inside the Villa half, and they're unhappy that there's no further punishment beyond just a free kick here. I felt that merited a yellow card, but Rob Jones is unmoved.
I think that's Caicedo. That's his role in the team, isn't it? He's got to break up play. He's got to be physical, and he's gonna get fouled a few times as well. So I'm sure he'll be making fouls and being fouled the rest of this game anyway.
Disasi on the move now. Madueke flying down the right wing. Madueke, and almost managed to dart inside of Moreno, but it came off Madueke last and goes behind for a goal kick, which Emi Martinez is in no hurry at all to take. So 0-0 between Chelsea and Villa. Same scoreline between Sheffield Wednesday and Coventry, and Bristol City and Nottingham Forest. They've also played round about half an hour of their FA Cup ties, and with a quarter of an hour gone at Spurs, it is still 0-0 between Tottenham and Manchester City. That game is live over on 5 Live. Gilchrist has intercepted a long punt forwards by Emi Martinez, but has then just ran the ball out of play, and it's going to be a Villa throw midway inside their own half. There was a period where after that disallowed goal that both sides seemed to really up the ante, the tempo got up, but again it's just sort of fallen into a bit of a lull again.
Yeah, but it's more the Chelsea players, you can see the confidence has grown. The last sort of 10-15 minutes where they've had a bit of joy, every time they're getting on the ball they're a lot more positive, they're a lot more, they believe in themselves, especially the wide players. Every time they get the ball they're looking to take someone on or making that run in behind it be something positive. So if out of the two teams you're looking at, it's Chelsea that are winning the ball back, the crowd's on their side and they're bursting forward.
Madueke bursting forwards here. Again, it's on that right side. Jinking and weaving, getting to the byline. Great stuff from Madueke. Couldn't pick out a teammate though. Had 3 in blue in the area, nowhere near any of them, and Villa have scrambled it away.
Yeah, again, such a good position to get into. That's 3 or 4 times now Chelsea have got in behind the Aston Villa players, and they're looking for that cutback, but they haven't been able to pick out a Chelsea player on every single opportunity. It's disappointing on their part because they're getting the opportunities, they're getting into these areas of the pitch where they're able to have a cross or at least a shot at goal, but they're really wasting them.
Badiashile on halfway for Chelsea, in towards Caicedo. Caicedo away from the attentions of Ollie Watkins, finds Disasi, who can scoop it forwards towards Gilchrist, and Madueke, who's seen a lot of the ball now. Chelsea generally going down the right hand side, and a good ball in towards Enzo Fernandez, who felt that he was clipped by Matty Cash. Instead it's going to be a corner kick because Rob Jones reckons that the final touch came off Cash.
How many times have we seen in the last 10 minutes that a player on that right hand side, whether it was Madueke or whether it's Gallagher, whether it was Sterling over there, they're all getting in just from that one run in behind. It's just that final ball across goal that's really letting them down.
Corner kick then for Chelsea. 10 minutes to go until the interval in this FA Cup 4th round tie. Both sides still looking for that opening goal. Madueke with the corner. That is awful. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. It was almost like a Cristiano Ronaldo attempted hit onto the valve of the ball, so it just ballooned into the area and was easily cleared. That said, they recycled it well. Sterling got down the right side of the penalty area, and Cash is there again to send it behind for another corner.
Just seen Madueke just go to Palmer, you take it. I think that's a few corners he's taken that if they haven't gone short, he's hit the first man. It's a real waste.
So as Matt was saying, Palmer has assumed the responsibility for this latest Chelsea corner that will be coming in from the right side as they look at it. In swinger from Palmer, that's better. Martinez has flapped at it. Kamara, in trying to get it away, has suffered a head injury, so the referees immediately called a halt to play. He's back up immediately, so he's going to be alright, I think. But Martinez there looked a little bit uncertain, but it was all about the delivery from Palmer, which was so much better than what we've previously seen from Chelsea corners.
Yeah, well, as a defender, they must be going up, and if the ball doesn't come in, it's a short one and it never comes in, you're thinking, come on boys, I've just run all the way up there, I've got myself into a great position to score a goal when you've not put the ball in. And even when they do hit the first man, there's that disappointment to run all the way back to their goal and thinking, come on, just put a good delivery in. And Palmer definitely did that on that occasion.
Madueke has nicked it back nicely from virtually on the touchline to ensure that Chelsea have kept possession, and it's with Thiago Silva now. This is about 10 yards outside the Chelsea box, in towards Enzo Fernandez. Short pass to Caicedo was risky, but Caicedo managed to readjust and get it back safely to Badiashile. Square to Thiago Silva, who finds Disasi all deep in Chelsea territory at the moment, with 8 minutes to go until half-time, and it's still 0-0 at the Bridge. Badiashile now looked up and thought about lofting it forwards to Enzo Fernandez, decided to keep possession, so Chelsea are still operating well inside their own territory. Now Disasi with that scoop ball over the top for Madueke to chase. Moreno up against him, and Moreno has just about stayed the right side of the law there, put a bit of physical pressure on him, and then managed to lever the ball away to safety. On halfway though, it's won well by Thiago Silva, who's gone down clutching his stomach. He's got up now and needs to defend because Villa have recycled it, and McGinn coming through the centre of the Chelsea midfield has opted to go wide to Moreno. Moreno stood up by Madueke, infield to Tielemans, and back now with Moreno. Moreno has Madueke for company and is forced to go all the way back to Longley. Can't find him though because Cole Palmer has made the interception at the expense of a Villa throw.
I'm not particularly sure Moreno wanted that ball. You know, he's just had to chase back so many times because again Madueke's got in again running behind, so he must be thinking, I can't go forward at this moment in time, I've got to catch my breath because I've done about 5 or 6 sprints all the way back to chase him back, and they've not made any of them opportunities play at the moment, Chelsea.
Villa on halfway with Longley surging forwards. And he's found Tielemans, who's weaved it out to the near side, and Cash, who can advance here. Now it's Diaby, a couple of yards outside the area, the corner of the Chelsea penalty area, but they've opted to go backwards, so it's closer towards the halfway line now. Kamara stepped away from Enzo Fernandez, though, nicely, into the feet of Tielemans, who lets it run. Douglas Luiz, this is about 5 yards outside the Chelsea area, backwards to square to Kamara. So many blue shirts back there, there's a precious little space for Villa to work with. Cash has collected it, though, now, on the corner of that Chelsea box, back to McGinn again. Villa not really going anywhere fast, but McGinn with a pirouette away from Enzo Fernandez. Now gets it onto his left foot as he looks to play the in-swinging cross. He's unable to do that because Badiashile was on his shoulder, so it's back with Konsa just inside the Chelsea half now, and every Chelsea player is back behind the ball. Konsa's managed to spin it wide to Tielemans, who's gone backwards to Longley. This is on the left now with Tielemans for Villa. Good bit of possession from Villa. Is there anything at the end of it though? It's Konsa inside the centre circle for Aston Villa, and now it's a short stabbed pass to Longley, who does play the ball in towards Diaby, nowhere near him in the end though. Badiashile's header was poor, and Thiago Silva swings a boot at it to get it high into the West London sky, and Konsa's cushioned header down towards Moreno has actually come the way of Madueke, who plays it into Caicedo. Noni Madueke just inside Chelsea territory, goes back to Gilchrist, square to Disasi, and Chelsea will build again with Badiashile and Mauricio Pochettino pointing forwards and telling him, why don't you pick out Raheem Sterling with the earlier pass? And Chelsea have missed that potential opportunity, so they've gone to the right side of the pitch now with Madueke. Madueke back to Gilchrist, and Chelsea going from right to left and back that way and back the other way, and now they've gone central with Conor Gallagher. Gallagher collects just inside the Villa half and knocks it into Enzo Fernandez, and now it is Thiago Silva on halfway into Enzo Fernandez again, square for Disasi, and they've picked out Gilchrist on the right. He was looking for Madueke, who wasn't expecting the ball, and it will dribble behind for a goal kick. Matt Jarvis.
Do you know what, the last sort of minute or so where Chelsea were just building up, I've been watching what Sterling, Palmer and Madueke have been doing, and if you look at Palmer, he's offside by 5-10 yards offside behind the Aston Villa centre-halves, and he's waiting for that ball from either winger to just get him behind. They've made that run a few times and they haven't received the ball, but they just having that check and just sprinting, because every single time they then get the ball, he's onside then.
Enzo Fernandez has picked it up in a promising area and has darted towards the Villa penalty area, but in the end the pass was lacking, and Martinez has it safely in his mitts and is quick to distribute it, and it's forwards for Diaby to chase. Petrovic has come out of his area, a bit of an unsure touch from him, but Caicedo leaps to nudge it forwards, and now Enzo Fernandez, almost a bit of the John McGinn about him there, as he used his backside to shield the ball to good effect, and it's won Chelsea the free kick.
Yeah, absolutely. He knows he's just he's got to get his body in front. Luiz was just trying to get the ball going all over the top of him, so he's used his experience, got his body in the way, got himself a free kick, and away Chelsea go again. But it must have been, going back to the Palmer, it must be something they've worked on.
Sterling has tried to collect on the left side, and Cash again detailed to get tight to him, has done his job, and the ball has gone out for a throw to Chelsea on the left side. It's level with that Villa penalty area. Sterling waiting for someone to offer themselves, and that offer comes in the shape of Thiago Silva, but it means going all the way back towards halfway for Chelsea, with 2 minutes of normal time at the end of this first half still remaining. Remember, we do still have replays at the moment in the fourth round of the FA Cup, so they would do it all again at Villa Park if it ends 0-0 at full time in this one. Madueke just motioning to some of his teammates to give him an option as he was inside the area there, but there was no obvious pass. That's a more inviting ball in, but nobody in blue attacking it, so the curling cross is caught comfortably by Martinez, who can quickly distribute it, and Kamara biting off a bit more than he could chew as he tried to get away from Enzo Fernandez. And then Villa are incensed here that Kamara seemed to have committed a foul, because they felt that he got the ball fairly off Enzo Fernandez, and Villa might have been away there.
Yeah, the thing, Fernandez again, he's just got his body in between Kamara and the ball, and Kamara's still using his pace and power to just get round him, and he has got round him and got the ball, but the referee's decided that Fernandez has done enough to get himself a free kick. But again, you look at that out wide, Chelsea getting it wide. If they don't have that pass that's slid in behind and they can put a cross in low, they're looking at that opportunity, and it's wasted when they cut back to put crossing, because they haven't got that centre forward to run in and take that shot, and Martinez is easily able to come and get it.
Last few seconds of the first half, ball in from Gallagher. Palmer was waiting, but so was Ezri Konsa, who got there first and sends it behind for a Chelsea corner as we head towards stoppage time.
I would love to see these replays if the analysts are there and cropping all of this, because carbon copy every single time. One of the wide players, whether that's Sterling or Madueke, but it's Gallagher that keeps running behind, and he's had 4 opportunities to cross that to Palmer.
Going to have 3 minutes added on at the end of the half. Chelsea have taken the corner short. Madueke jinking and weaving away from Moreno, floated in by Sterling, and the header from Badiashile is from close range, gathered safely by Emi Martinez, who got down to make the block as Douglas Luiz goes to the turf as well for some reason. But that was half a chance for Chelsea.
Yeah, it was. In the end, it got played back to Sterling, who put a good cross into the far post, and as you say, Badiashile, he's made good connection, but it was quite comfortable for Martinez. It was sort of straight at him, but again, good opportunity.
Goalless at the Bridge, goalless as well between Bristol City and Nottingham Forest, and Sheffield Wednesday and Coventry. They, like the games here, are also heading towards half time. Nearly half an hour played meanwhile at Spurs, where it remains Tottenham 0, Manchester City 0, and we'll be rejoining the 5 live coverage during the interval here at the Bridge, so you will hear the remaining 15 or so minutes of the first half in the company of John Murray and Clinton Morrison, when the first half here comes to its conclusion, which is only about 90 seconds or so away. Douglas Luiz with Gallagher on him, plays it square to Moreno, and Chelsea have squeezed Villa back into their own area, and they've given the ball away, and Gallagher has it right at the edge of the area, doesn't play the right pass though. Kamara was there, Villa in a hurry to get it forwards and get it away to safety, but they've not been able to do so, so Enzo Fernandez has picked it up and worked it wide to Sterling on the left. Raheem Sterling running at Cash, still Sterling just again tried to do a bit too much. He'd beaten Cash, he had the chance to get the ball in, tried to beat him another time and then lost the ball, and Villa now over halfway with McGinn collecting and sweeping it on for Diaby on the right here. Diaby looking for an option, plays it into the centre and over the top by Tielemans. Well, that really was the opportunity for Villa to sting Chelsea on the stroke of half-time, and Yuri Tielemans has his hands on his head because the first time rasping effort was not far away from going into the top corner.
If there was anyone that you'd want on the end of that ball, that would have been Tielemans. He's blazed it over. It's such a good opportunity, and as you say, it's pretty much the last kick of the first half, and it's the first time that Aston Villa have actually been able to run in behind Chelsea, and that was that one ball, Diaby across the box, and it's just felt lovely on the right foot for Tielemans, but he's just couldn't get his head over the ball and it's gone over. Great opportunity.
That is almost certain to be the last meaningful action of this first half, because Petrovic is pumping this long, and we've got seconds remaining as the ball rebounds to McGinn just inside the Villa half. Nice vision to pick out Tielemans through the centre. He was looking to try and set Diaby away, but the pass was pulled from the Belgian. Chelsea have it back, and Enzo Fernandez has it, and there is the half-time whistle from Rob Jones. Well, so off we go then in the second half. No changes from either manager at the interval, so Chelsea with Petrovic in goal, the back four from right to left of Gilchrist, Thiago Silva, Disasi and Badiashile, with Fernandez and Caicedo sitting behind Madueke, Gallagher and Sterling, and Cole Palmer leading the line up top. And there's an early problem here for Caicedo, who's been caught, and Gallagher's gone across to check on him, and the referee meanwhile has gone across to book Yuri Tielemans, who is incredulous with the fact that he's been cautioned. Matt Jarvis.
Yeah, I think it was just a late challenge. The ball got played inside to McGinn, to Tielemans, but he's just a bit late, and Caicedo's just got there first, and I think he's tried to flick at it, and he's caught Caicedo, and he's obviously rolled on the floor. I told you it wouldn't be his last time he'd get fouled today.
Well, Chelsea have the free kick then, which is very much right of centre. It's in a line level with the corner of the Villa penalty area, as Emi Martinez tries to sort out his wall. All of the players at the moment, bar one, are congregated just outside the area, the vast majority in the D of the penalty area. So Cole Palmer with an in-swinger, or Madueke with an out-swinger. Those are the options for Chelsea. Free kick on the right side as they look at things. Madueke darts away from it, so Palmer, and it's a set-piece routine from Chelsea this time, but it doesn't come off because Conor Gallagher's first touch was absolutely abysmal, and Chelsea meanwhile have now found themselves back towards halfway, but Palmer with a lovely switch of play has picked out Sterling on the left-hand side. Sterling keeps it in with McGinn for company and has managed to recycle it nicely. Round the corner now for Gallagher, who's got to the byline. Decent looking cross in, headed away by Kamara. First time hit from Palmer. Well, it would have taken something special to score flush on the volley from there, but Cole Palmer is full of confidence at the moment and took it on, but couldn't quite get the radar working.
Yeah, I think he needed that after the disappointment of the actual first free kick, but there is a really good opportunity for him to on that left hand side, left foot, to try and sort of curl it into that far corner, but a really difficult chance because it's on the volley, it's coming from really high down onto him. There's loads of players in front of him, but he's got a good connection, but it's just wide.
So 0-0 at the bridge then, and Villa coming forwards with Watkins surging through the centre. Good stuff from Watkins, and now Diaby's strike towards the near post. Well, it was a low dribbler. Petrovic didn't really have to work too hard to keep out, but that was a good, strong, positive run from Watkins. Just basically picked it up and drove at the Chelsea back line.
Yeah, it is what you said. It's positive. That's what Aston Villa needed to start the second half. They needed something to latch onto, and Watkins done well, brought it down to start with, and then Diaby made a good run in behind. And although yes, the goalkeeper's made a really comfortable save, it's a good sighter for Diaby to get a shot on goal.
Back inside the Villa half at the moment then, and Emi Martinez in the Diaby's penalty area. All in green this evening, slightly lighter shade of green than the playing surface at the bridge, and then his bright orange boots and matching gloves as well, and he's in possession now deep inside his 6-yard box. Cole Palmer closed him down, but Martinez, cool as you like, out from the back, and Villa have worked it out from the back generally pretty nicely. Kamara though in towards McGinn, read by Caicedo. McGinn's done well to shield the ball, as he does to such good effect so often, and Cash now in the right back area feeds it all the way back to Konsa, who's pumped it crossfield to Longley. Bit of a risky pass across the face of his own penalty area, but Villa have managed to manoeuvre it well until Tielemans' header is intercepted by Gilchrist, and Chelsea have it inside their own half with Disasi, who finds Thiago Silva.
Yeah, a bit scrappy at the moment. Both teams just trying to find a way back into this second half. It's been very much we have an attack, you have attack. So Chelsea just trying to keep the ball now, doing what they did in the first half, where it's playing it out from the back, getting it wide, coming back inside, and again now it's Sterling trying to do his best against Cash.
That's been a battle to watch all night, and Sterling got the better of Cash to be able to work it in from the left-hand side, but Longley managed to clear it away. Sterling will go again at Cash, who stands it up well this time, and McGinn just outside the Villa box knocks it infield to Kamara, who's played it to Diaby. He was facing the wrong way though, so couldn't get clear of the challenge of Badiashile, so it's back inside the Villa penalty area with Emi Martinez, with 5 minutes gone in this second half and the score still 0-0. Reminder that we will go to a replay if there is no winner within the 90 minutes here this evening. That will be played the midweek after next. Here is Gallagher on the right, good looking ball in, and Martinez scrambles across to lie down and gather at the edge of his 6-yard box, and then a bit of a rush of blood to the head because he pumped it forward looking for Diaby to try and chase, but Disasi was able to deal with it pretty easily, and Chelsea have got it with Caicedo towards Madueke, but he split the difference between him and Disasi. Disasi on his follow through though managed to block the ball forwards from Moreno, and it's out for a Villa throw.
Villa, they pass the ball round really well, but it does get scary at the back when they keep making the same mistake, and the ball gets cut out in the middle of the park, just at the edge of the box really by Longley. He keeps playing that ball inside, and it's just that one flick round the corner, and Chelsea keep picking it up.
Cash surging forwards, picks it up on halfway, held up briefly by Badiashile, so it's back now with John McGinn. McGinn has Sterling on his back, and Sterling has buffeted him over from behind. Quickly taken, free kick by McGinn down the right channel for Diaby, who showed a bit too much of it to Thiago Silva. So Chelsea back in possession now just outside their own box. Caicedo has it and spins towards the halfway line. Gilchrist has collected now. This is on the Chelsea right hand side. Gilchrist is squeezed by Tielemans, works it square to Disasi, and Chelsea will start again with Badiashile and now Thiago Silva, and just again that sign of remonstration with his teammates for the fact that there was no obvious pass on, that sort of frustrated shrug of the shoulders and pointing to say, well, what am I supposed to do with the ball? Madueke showing what you should do with it, getting away from one challenge and bending an effort from just outside the area, but the whistle has now gone for a free kick for a challenge on Moreno. Well, seemed to wait a long time there, Rob Jones, before deciding to give the free kick Villa's way.
He did, and he's obviously had a good look at it. I think Moreno's gone down. He's done well for his Villa teammates, but he's gone down really dramatically. The referee's had to make a decision, but it's one of them. They've come together. Madueke's trying to get away from him. He's tried to move his arm, move away. He probably has caught him in the face, and the referee's made that decision and pulled it back. But he got that shot away. He almost should have had the shot before Madueke, and he had another touch to come inside again, and he's hit it wide. But it's quite an entertaining first half. Lots of challenges, lots of passing forward, trying to get shots away.
Tielemans has now been caught by Madueke just inside the Chelsea half, and Mauricio Pochettino is almost on the pitch as he makes his feelings clear, as do the Chelsea fans sat around us as well. But I don't really think that they could have had any complaints about that being a free kick for Madueke clattering Tielemans.
No, I think he's probably frustrated from the last decision that went against him, and he's just taken it out, but he can have no complaints on that one.
So just the one goal in all four of the FA Cup fourth round ties being played this evening. That came at Hillsborough, with Coventry leading 1-0 at Sheffield Wednesday. No goals between Bristol City, Nottingham Forest or Spurs and Manchester City, which is now half time. Here is Moreno away on the left for Villa, clips it in towards the 6-yard box, and it's sent away for a Villa throw down in front of that end that is entirely occupied by Aston Villa supporters behind Georgia Petrovic's goal. It's going to be taken by Moreno, who got away on that left-hand side and is now waving away the Villa players close to him, telling them to get into the penalty area. Receives the return pass from Watkins. It bounces favourably for Boubacar Kamara to sweep it all the way back to Konsa in the centre circle, drilled it towards Tielemans. Too much on it for the Belgian to control. Madueke collects instead, and he opts for the backwards pass to Disasi, and Thiago Silva by the D of the Chelsea box has found Badiashile. Bit of room for Caicedo, pokes over the top for Sterling to chase. Lovely pass that was. Sterling collects, he's been forced wide. Cash trying to stand him up. Sterling cuts in field and looks for the effort on goal, and it's blocked away as far as Caicedo urged to have a goal himself. Moises Caicedo back to Gilchrist. Chelsea pushing forwards with Madueke, still waiting for the opening goal at the Bridge. Gallagher looked offside to me, and now the flag goes up, and that was pretty criminal from Conor Gallagher, because he could see the whole way along the line and still moseyed into an offside position.
Yeah, great run by Sterling. Also a great ball to find him in behind. Long diagonal ball in behind for him, and he's done well, cut inside from Cash, but just couldn't quite get his shot up in time, and then he had to cut back again, and it got blocked. But it's a really good run. He's using his pace really well tonight. He's either coming from wide to run inside for the goal, or he's coming short and just spinning in behind. But again, another opportunity for Chelsea that's gone begging.
So Villa back underway with Clement Longley playing it square to Ezri Konsa, and Madueke is off the pitch at the moment for Chelsea. Just needs a change of boot at the moment, so a collection of luminous yellow numbers are being brought out for him to try on.
He's getting his shooting boots on now.
Sort of colours that you used to wear, Matt?
To be honest, I actually did quite like to have coloured boots, so I can't
helps
really
you look where you're running,
exactly. And maybe look quicker as well, I think.
The Chelsea temporarily down to 10 with Madueke off the pitch at the moment, and he's still trying on the it's not exactly a Formula 1 pit stop in terms of the amount of time it's taking for him to get sorted. In the meantime, Villa might be sorted, because Moreno has it on the left flank. He's closed down by Conor Gallagher, and now Douglas Luiz has gone for goal, and it was an awkward one for Petrovic, because it just bounced in front of the keeper. Watkins was making a run to indicate that he might have tried to get a touch on it, so he couldn't have been sure whether he would have needed to react differently, but he got down and gathered.
Yeah, good save, because Douglas Luiz, he struck it really well, and he sort of knew what he was doing. He's trying to get the shot on target, but if it come off Watkins, then even better. But really well kept by the goalkeeper.
And the flag is up for offside again here against Cole Palmer, but Villa have played it forwards quickly instead, and John McGinn was looking to slip Diaby through. It was a ball through the centre of the Chelsea midfield, and Diaby was just making a peeling run away to the right-hand side, which meant it went slightly behind him.
Yeah, it is a massive contrast of playing styles, because Chelsea are all about trying to get the ball and go wide, whereas Aston Villa are trying to get everything through the middle, and that one was just, the pass was just a bit misplaced.
Yet another lofted ball over the top for Chelsea to try and set a runner onto. This time it's Madueke who is collected on the right-hand side. Infield is Madueke once again, and Villa with everyone back behind the ball, so it's going to be a case of starting again for Chelsea on halfway with Thiago Silva. 0-0 at the Bridge with just a couple of minutes to go until we hit the hour mark, and a replay starts to loom large in the minds of both managers, with a date at Villa Park scheduled for around about 10 or 12 days time. It's the midweek after next. Of course, it's a full Premier League fixture in the upcoming midweek, with Palmer in possession for Chelsea at the moment. Infield towards Conor Gallagher, lovely bit of footwork from him, and a good ball in, which was right into the path of Konsu. Manages to clear it away. Back in from Palmer, and blocked pretty sternly by Tielemans, because it was clattered into him, but he didn't flinch, and the ball goes out for a Chelsea throw. Gilchrist thought about taking it quickly, but he is now going to take his time and play it in towards Donny Madueke. Gilchrist now collects once again, plays it in towards Gallagher. Gallagher shielded it well, and now finds Gilchrist, goes back to Caicedo. Caicedo backwards to square to Disasi, and now Chelsea will begin once again, and it's Thiago Silva inside the centre circle. Enzo Fernandez gets it back to Thiago Silva. Chelsea pushing and probing, but Villa with that really resolute shape, so well organised and well drilled that Chelsea finding the gaps hard to come by. Madueke looking to spot one now with a lovely crossfield switch to pick out Sterling on the left. Sterling tight to that left touchline as Cash for company as ever. Has a run at him again. He's got away from Cash, and he's got back well, the Polish international, to get a touch on it and send it behind for a corner to Chelsea.
It's a good race, that, isn't it? Sterling's trying to now run him down the line, and Cash just getting back to concede the corner, but them two are finding it's a really good game between the two of them, but that is Chelsea's outlet. Both wingers, they're causing Aston Villa's both fullbacks a real problem tonight.
Corner for Chelsea then, as we hit the hour mark at the Bridge, and it remains goalless between Chelsea and Villa. This one is going to be an outswinger towards the penalty spot area. Gilchrist got up, Gallagher goes in, the counter might be on here for Aston Villa. Lovely ball forwards by Marino, but nobody in claret and blue was wise to it, so gathered easily by Petrovic, and now it is Chelsea in possession once again.
Emery's applauding him though. He knew it was the right decision because Diaby was in, but it just the execution wasn't quite there. But you can see all this Aston Villa team, they're so behind the manager, his tactics and everything that he's done, and they're willing to do absolutely everything that he's asked of them. And it's a very well organised team. But the thing is, they've also got players that can change the game. And Bailey is on the bench. He can come on. They could change a system, but they are very much in this shape, knowing exactly what their roles and responsibilities are. So it's a very good battle between these two teams.
Only lost one of their last 14 matches in all competitions. Aston Villa, that came in the 3-2 Premier League loss at Manchester United on Boxing Day. 9 wins and 5 draws, and they've scored in 23 of their last 25 games in all competitions, although their most recent game saw them draw a blank in that 0-0 draw away at Everton, and they've failed to find the net so far this evening, as have Chelsea. 0-0 with Gilchrist waiting to take this throw. Sets of substitutes have been going through pretty strenuous warm-ups as Madueke goes down and expects the free kick to come from the referee, which it doesn't. Chelsea still smarting about that. Now it's gone behind for a goal kick, and Rob Jones receiving a lot of grief now.
That's got to be a free kick. I mean, I don't know how he's not given it. He's Moreno's got both hands round Madueke, and he's pulled him to the ground. So I don't know how he's not given it.
Well, I said that the substitutes looked like they'd up the ante a bit with their warm-ups, and we're going to get the first change of the game. Ben Chilwell is about to be brought on by Mauricio Pochettino. Saw them lose Levi Colwill in the warm-up ahead of the game due to a hamstring problem, and Ben Chilwell, of course, only recently returning from a long injury layoff of his own. Here's Madueke. Chelsea wait to make the change. Madueke darting towards the edge of the area, and then his low flat ball in is blocked by Concert, which turned into an inadvertent clearance that gets it ballooned away, but Chelsea have won it back with Disasi. And now Enzo Fernandez with a quick sweep wide to Sterling on the left, up against Cash once again. Cash tries to stand him up. Sterling got the ball in, but then Cash managed to fling his body in the way to get the block on it, and Villa have got it away to safety. But then they've fluffed their lines a bit, because Badiashile was presented with the ball, and he quickly got it forwards to Sterling. On the left now for Chelsea with Moises Caicedo wide to Sterling once again, and Sterling backwards of Square, and back with Thiago Silva now for Chelsea, who plays it in towards Gilchrist. Gilchrist goes back to Disasi. This is all just in front of the halfway line, inside the Villa half of the pitch, as Chelsea again just wait for that moment to play the long ball forwards, the long diagonal pass over the top, which they've used throughout the game so far. Cole Palmer couldn't spot the pass that was on there though, so goes backwards to Disasi. Midway inside Villa territory. 25 minutes of the 90 left to play at the bridge. Still 0-0. Gilchrist for Disasi, and again Villa with those two banks of claret and blue, proving a decent block, although Sterling chasing a lovely loop pass over the top by Thiago Silva. Emi Martinez just about judged that right to come and gather before Sterling could nip in.
Yeah, and I bet his teammates are thinking, what are you doing? Don't now fire it up the other end. We're under a lot of pressure here. You just keep hold of that. But it's Chelsea dominating possession, and it's another great bomb from outside to inside this time from Sterling, and the ball was just a bit too far, but the goalkeeper's come out and done really well.
Well, Chelsea are now asking for a yellow card against Douglas Luiz, because they feel that he showed a sign of dissent as he bounced the ball down following the decision from the linesman to award the throw-in the other way. And Alfie Gilchrist is now going to make way himself, a late inclusion in the team after Levi Colwill pulled up with a hamstring problem in the warm-up, and a big cheer for Ben Chilwell, who is coming on and continues his comeback towards full fitness after that injury layoff.
Yeah, it's great to see him back. He's such a good player, and the way that this Chelsea side play as well, he will really enjoy going forward and attacking. So it's good for him to get back on the pitch and get some more minutes.
Back on the way at Spurs, by the way, as well, into the second half there now. 0-0 at Tottenham between themselves and Manchester City, and meanwhile goalless at Bristol City, Nottingham Forest. Coventry still leading 1-0 at Sheffield Wednesday. Gallagher has just nudged over Douglas Luiz inside the Chelsea half, so it's going to be a free kick for Villa. And Longley just in consultation with Douglas Luiz, and then just trying to earn a couple of yards again. I think all the referees pretty wary of that after what happened at Brentford the other day.
Yeah, and Cole Palmer's just made sure by knocking it back another 10 feet.
So we've hit the midway point then of the second half, and still waiting for the breakthrough at the bridge. Concert in possession for Villa, and Concert has it once again deep inside his own half. Only Palmer going to close him down, as Concert has all the time that he needs on the ball to be able to point and talk to his teammates without worrying about losing the ball. And now Palmer comes a bit closer to him. Boubacar Kamara tries to speed away down the line, but runs into traffic, and the ball comes off Chilwell and bounces away. And now play will be stopped, because in amongst all the ricochets, it caught him flush in the face, and it's going to be an inspection for Rob Jones, the referee.
I mean, that's twice that's happened to Cash in this last game, and that one was from 2 yards away straight into his face. So he's not enjoyed hitting the face today, has Cash.
So it'll be a bounce ball. Rob Jones will go across to get play back underway. You mentioned earlier about Leon Bailey being someone that Villa could maybe utilise from the bench, and you wonder now as we head towards the final 20 minutes if Unai Emery might be thinking about shuffling his pack.
I think he's got to. I think they've defended.
Martinez has given it away. Palmer has completely fluffed his lines, though. Well, two really bad pieces of play there. First of all, a casual clearance from Emi Martinez, which he is apologising to his teammates for, which presented the ball to Cole Palmer, but it was an awful effort from inside the area, one-on-one against Martinez from Palmer, who scored a couple against Middlesbrough, obviously got the winner from the spot against Fulham in the Premier League here as well, but tonight has been more reminiscent of his first leg performance at Middlesbrough, but he passed up a number of very good chances.
Yeah, of all the players for it to drop to, it would be him. He's so composed normally on the ball, and he's just let his technique down there.
Villa coming forwards now. Cash clips it in, and at the far post, Moreno's header over the top. Well, it was a tough angle for him to try and test Petrovic from, but it was looped into a very inviting area by Matty Cash, and Moreno did the best he could, but it was always asking a bit too much.
Yeah, it's really hard. There he's got to try and head it back across goal, but he's jumping it, he's at full stretch, he's leaning back, so unfortunately for him he's gone over the bar. But again, good from Matty Cash there on the right hand side, cutting inside and putting a nice left foot dink into the far post. But it's the opportunities that Chelsea have had tonight. They've got to take one of them, because this Villa side, they can score goals, they are a threat, but Martinez, what's he doing there, trying to hit a big diagonal from inside his own, but very low, and Palmer, you just think he's got to do better.
Martinez plays it successfully out from the back this time in towards Konsa. Kamara in possession now for Villa. Cash has missed his kick as he tried to swing it up towards halfway, but Villa have got lucky because it's rebounded fortunately for them, and now Tielemans can carry it over halfway. Yuri Tielemans darting at the Chelsea backline. It's Ollie Watkins now into the area, tight angle, fizzed it goalwards. Good work from Disasi to fling his body in the way, but it will be a Villa corner.
Yeah, game's getting stretched now. It's every opportunity is going forward, and that's the first time that we've seen Watkins come out onto this left-hand side. He quite favours this left-hand side, but he's dragged it down the line and he's used his left foot. It's been blocked and put a corner, but you can hear the Villa crowd now. They're really encouraging their team now. They're right next to them. They're trying to help them get this ball into the back of the net.
Douglas Luiz just urging them to give the players a bit more, which they duly responded to. Now what can he do from the resulting corner? It's going to be bent in with his right boot, and it's a really poor delivery because Sterling could just chest it away very comfortably. Douglas Luiz though pokes it on now for McGinn, who's got a crossing opportunity from the left at the byline, pokes it across well. Watkins was waiting, doesn't come his way, might break for Douglas Luiz, and blocked by Thiago Silva, who got his head in the way.
We've seen some really poor corner kicks today, but I don't know how it happens. They keep coming out, and then they do like they have that one pass, and it goes in, and they put the cross in, but it's all from a really poor corner, but then they make up for it. And there's been a couple of strikes there that Thiago Silva who I think it was at the end, who's had Douglas Luiz has had a real good strike from the edge of the box, and he's just got his head straight in the way like all good defenders, and cleared the ball.
Konsa inside the centre circle for Villa. We have just under 20 minutes of the 90 remaining. Goalless at Stamford Bridge, and goalless as well at Bristol City, Nottingham Forest. Coventry still leading Sheffield Wednesday by a 1-0, and they're about 9 minutes into the second half at Spurs, where it's 0-0 still between Tottenham and Manchester City. So 3 of the 4 FA Cup fourth round ties being played tonight are on course to go to replays. Tomorrow we will have full commentary for you on Ipswich against Maidstone United, and then Everton against Luton Town in the FA Cup fourth round. Petrovic, the Chelsea keeper, by the edge of his 6-yard box, plays it to the right back area, and Disasi, who knocks it up to Gallagher. It was a clever idea from Conor Gallagher to try and flick it into the path of Madueke, but Madueke wasn't wise to it, so it just drifted into Villa's grasp, and they have it now with Longley, who has Gallagher snapping away at him, so Kamara has to try and help him out, but this is still just outside the Villa penalty area, and Chelsea putting the squeeze on. They've managed to work it into John McGinn, though, who can now bring it up towards halfway. John McGinn for Aston Villa to Yuri Tielemans. Tielemans back to McGinn. One goal might well be enough tonight, but McGinn won't be able to fashion a chance with that particular move, because he's given it straight to Raheem Sterling, but then it's given away by Badiashile, and it's Ollie Watkins inside the area. Watkins fizzed it towards the near post. Petrovic beats it away. Chelsea almost made to pay for one of their numerous sloppy passes.
It's, again, Watkins really sharp onto it, puts it out onto his right hand side, bang, snapshot, really good save from the keeper, but it's end to end right here.
Slipped almost in for Diaby, who was the wrong side of Disasi, and Villa enjoying a good period at the moment. They're asking some questions, and the Chelsea fans trying to rally their players to get further up the pitch after they were sitting a little deep and inviting Villa onto them.
Yeah, Villa have done really well in this second half to absorb the pressure from Chelsea, but actually every time they've gone forward they've looked dangerous, and they're getting their fullbacks up higher up the pitch, which they couldn't do in this first half. So it's turning into a real good performance.
And it's been picked up by Cash now, who's surging away. He's into the area. Matty Cash! Great save by Petrovic. That is magnificent from the Chelsea keeper. Matty Cash cut inside, bent it towards the bottom corner, looked like it was arrowing in, but Petrovic got fingertips to it to send it behind.
Fantastic save. You say fingertips, he's dived, he's full stretch, and he's just tipped it round the far post. But Matty Cash, he found himself in acres of space all alone, and I thought he missed his opportunity to take a shot on his right hand side, but he's cut in on his left and he's hit a beautiful shot. But what a great save.
Corner taken short for Villa, 0-0 with a quarter of an hour to play. Swung in by Douglas Luiz. Good ball as well, and then I think Chilwell did just enough at the far post to ensure that it drifted behind with no touch on it from Clement Longley.
Yeah, this game, you just don't know what's going to happen, because you've still got substitutions that can be made for both teams. I mean, Aston Villa haven't made a change yet, and you're looking at them and they're getting stronger in this game. Every opportunity for them is on the break, and they're starting to dominate. And even, as I mentioned about the fullbacks, that's Matty Cash, and on the other side we had both fullbacks that were in there, which you haven't seen that at all in the first half. So that's something that they've been able to do this second half. The manager's probably looked at it and think we need to move up the pitch in these wide areas.
Here's Diaby coming through the centre of the Chelsea midfield, and now offloads to McGinn inside the area. Cash on the overlap, good ball, and Thiago Silva had to get the right touch on it because it was cut back towards the edge of the 6-yard box. He intercepted it, could have gone in, instead it goes behind for a corner.
Yeah, and Chelsea have got two changes lined up, but I don't think they'll be making them before this corner kick. And it's all about the runs. It's Cash running them beyond here at the moment, Diaby and Watkins. Every time they get the ball now, they're trying to run him behind, and that's where the space is.
Villa corner then, with just under 15 minutes of the 90 remaining. And the Villa fans now on their feet and in good voice as they wait to see this corner taken. McGinn swings it towards the far post, and Madueke ducks under it, and it goes behind in yet another poor corner to add to the list tonight.
Honestly, what a waste. They've got all of the defenders up, they've got a good height there, they can be really effective from set pieces, and then just to kick it out straight for a goal kick is really disappointing.
So it's going to be Noni Madueke to come off now for Chelsea. But it's like for like, really, because it's another of the Chelsea chariots that's going to be surging forwards in the shape of Mykhailo Mudryk, who is replacing him.
Yeah, and the thing is, they've been really effective, and you've both got Sterling and Madueke, they've been really effective, but in this second half, just the last 10 minutes, they found themselves on the defending side. So Pochettino's decided that that's it, he's going to make the change, and we'll see how they get on.
and Armando Broja has been drafted in as well for Chelsea, so a couple of changes from the Blues boss as they push on to try and find a winner in what remains of the game. Still no alterations from Unai Emery meanwhile, as he considers his options. Villa obviously would be the happier of the two teams with a replay, because it would be at Villa Park.
I can't imagine that either team will really want a replay with the schedules that they've had, and Aston Villa in Europe, and Chelsea in the final. They with their squads, they don't want to play in these second legs. They want to get this thing done and be through to the next round.
Trying to close down Clement Longley, but he found Konsa instead, and now Konsa's big ball out towards Matty Cash, who was bursting forwards on the right, and his touch let him down. The ball drifts out for a Chelsea throw, but all of a sudden it's Villa who are starting to find some joy with that lofted ball over to runners coming forwards from full-back. Chelsea were doing it a lot in the first period, but the last few minutes Cash has found himself in some very, very promising areas.
Yeah, and he's just pulled up with a bit of cramp, and I'm not surprised. The workload he's had to go through chasing Sterling back, especially in that first half, but then in this second half he's been the one that's been marauding down the right hand side and getting opportunities to score. So I think you'll see in the next few minutes he'll probably just sit in his position for a minute and try and get the cramp to go and get his lungs back.
Disasi for Chelsea with 12 minutes of the 90 remaining. Cole Palmer now collects just inside the Villa half. He's tight to the right touchline, looking for some options, and finds one in the shape of Disasi, who's close to the right touchline again. Big swing across towards Mudryk, who was arriving at the far post. Cash has guided it back to Martinez, but has then gone down and is clutching his hamstring by the looks of things here.
He's got cramp. I mean, great defending by Cash there. He's backpedaling. He's already got cramp, and he's had to jump as high as he can, and he's done a really well defender's header back to Martinez, and he's gone straight down holding his leg. He's got cramp, and I'm not surprised. He has been out and he's come back, and he's had to do a lot of work tonight. So but it does amaze me that I look down on this where the bench is, and there isn't anyone stripped or ready to go, and it's 79 minutes gone, and it looks like Unai Emery hasn't even considered making a change yet.
Well, he's in conversation with some of his coaching staff at the moment, and the discussions go on for now, and I wonder if that is perhaps what is being suggested to him, and if word is going to go to the trio of subs who are down there at the moment, and in fact word has come, so we are going to see a change shortly. But Chelsea are on the move meanwhile. It's Palmer down the right hand side, 4 in blue in the area. Palmer checks back, knocks it into the feet of Gallagher, taken off him by McGinn. Referee says it was a fair challenge. Chelsea and their fans beg otherwise.
Very good challenge by McGinn, really important. Gallagher's just about to have a touch and finish.
Palmer tried to feed it down the line, but cut out by Moreno, but he's given it away straight to Caicedo. Gallagher, as he buffeted off it, referee says not. McGinn in towards Douglas Luiz, and now it's all the way back with Emi Martinez. 10 minutes then left of this FA Cup tie, heading for a replay at Villa Park as things stand. And there's another stoppage here for a collision as Rob Jones comes across to just sort out the collision between Disasi and Tielemans.
Not sure I would want to be in that challenge either. Disasi's coming right over the top. He's a big lad. That's going to hurt. Tielemans is laid on the floor. He's not enjoyed that battle.
So Villa making a double change here then. Diego Carlos and Nicolo Zaniolo are going to be the two to come on here for Villa. Surprised that Matty Cash isn't one of them, although in fact up goes the board now, and Matty Cash is going to make the long walk across to be withdrawn here. And that's no surprise given what you were saying, Matt, about the fact that his hamstrings were taking a bit of a battering.
Yeah, he indicates straight away. I think he said, he looks over to the bench and he pointed at both calves. He said, I've got cramp in both calves. But he's defended really well and he's attacked really well, especially in this second half. So he gets a well-earned 10 minutes rest.
Free kick for Villa inside their own half, then 8 minutes left to play. It's taken eventually by Clement Longley. In fact, he's left it for Douglas Luiz, who goes all the way back to Emi Martinez. And Martinez square to Konsa. Kamara, risky pass, Gallagher chasing, Emi Martinez to the rescue, sliding out, blocking with his legs, vital save. If he hadn't got there, Gallagher was round him, and Chelsea were heading through to round 5.
I don't know how many times that's happened tonight. It's that stray ball on the edge of the box, and Chelsea should have been in about 4 or 5 times. They should have scored at least one from them bad decisions on the edge of the box from Aston Villa.
On the halfway for Chelsea with Disasi, and now it's knocked forwards to Diaby, who has got the return pass and got the wrong side of his man as well. Left the ball behind briefly, and then it's clipped by Caicedo. So Villa free kick, 30 yards out from goal on the right hand side.
Yeah, Diaby's done well there. Diaby, he's got his body. He made the run and he was in, but he left the ball behind, and then he's got his body in the way and earning his team a free kick, which, you know, in an area you're not going to be shooting from here, but they've been very effective with their creativity from set pieces. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with here, and the Chelsea players are going to have to be on their toes.
Douglas Luiz is going to take it because he's the only Villa player who is over the ball here. And again, it's that movement off the ball from a set piece that Villa are working on here, because they've got McGinn and
4
Diaby,
players offside.
Yeah, in offside positions, both closing in on the keeper Petrovic. But if the ball is knocked into them, then they're certain to be offside. So they'll have to have a think again. And now they've retreated, and Diaby has collected the ball. So it was to move Chelsea out of shape. Now towards the far post, and Kamara couldn't keep it in, but it came off Armando Broja last, so it will be a Villa corner. Well, they're, trying to come up with as many thinking outside of the box ways of using those dead ball situations as possible.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen 4 players offside and trying to run back, but the ball to Diaby there, if that was just a little bit further in front, he was in, so it would have worked really well, except for that final ball.
Corner for Villa. Can they find a late winner? Douglas Luiz's corner is flicked over his own crossbar by Cole Palmer, so Villa will go again. And there's been an equaliser at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Coventry 1. So all 4 of the ties taking place tonight are heading for replays now, because that's the only game that's had goals in it, and it is now 1-1 between Sheffield Wednesday and Coventry. Exactly 5 minutes of the 90 remaining at Stamford Bridge. McGinn's corner, that's a better delivery. Petrovic has opted to punch, he gets it clear as far as the penalty spot, and then the effort from Konsa flashes wide of the post. Well, he let fly, and I think if it had been on target, Petrovic wasn't getting there.
No, great strike on the half volley on his right hand side, struck it really well, but as you say, just wide of the post. If it is on target, I don't think goalkeeper's got a chance.
Chilwell for Chelsea has fed Mudryk, but his fellow substitute couldn't control it, so Villa have got it back with Zaniolo and Konsa, and they will retreat all the way back to their keeper Emi Martinez, who has come to the rescue a few times, not so much with saves, but just anticipation and rushing out and using his feet or his head or whatever well to prevent Chelsea when more often than not a Villa pass has gone astray.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a couple of misplaced passes himself, but he is one of them keepers. He likes to be out of his box.
And here is Moreno going into the Chelsea box, and Caicedo has nudged him off it, but it was never going to be a penalty in my book, and the referee very quickly said as well it was simply shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get them. It's very much a shoulder to shoulder into the box, but to be fair to him, he's got straight back up and chased the ball back.
Villa trying to snatch a winner here. Zaniolo on the right wing, low flat ball in, McGinn just wide. Oh, so close to a late Villa goal. John McGinn's convinced it came off a Chelsea player last. Goal kick is the decision. Goal scored was nearly what happened.
Yeah, really good play on the right hand side. Zaniolo, he's sort of shimmied to come inside in his left hand, his left foot, but he's gone down the line and whipped a delightful ball across goal. And I think McGinn's trying to point to say that it wasn't him, but if it was McGinn, it was a really delicate flick, and it's just gone right across goal, and it's just gone wide of the far post. But really good ball in on that right hand side.
Petrovic to take the resulting goal kick for Chelsea then, with 2.5 minutes of normal time remaining, and a replay looking very, very likely now indeed. Long ball forwards from Petrovic, hacked away by Douglas Luiz, only as far as Badiashile for Chelsea, back to Thiago Silva, who clips the ball down the right channel, looking for the run of Palmer. It's come for Breuer instead, and some really messy footwork from him, sees it just spin away and beyond the byline for a goal kick.
Yeah, again, it's that. I think the original ball was to Palmer, but it was curling towards goal, and Breuer, he's in, because Longley is actually looking to think that he's nowhere near it, but he's actually clean through and goal. But it's sort of gone in between his legs. He's then knocked it a few feet in front. It's hit his neck left, and he's kicked it out of play. A really good opportunity. He's inside the box on his own. He could have a good touch and get a shot at goal.
Okani Chukwuemeka, former Aston Villa man, gets a warm reception from the Villa supporters, as you might imagine. 90 seconds of the 90 minutes left to play, and he would not be a popular goal scorer amongst the Villa fans if he was to make a match-winning contribution late on here.
I think that's exactly what he would like to do, though. This is what a time to come on, get your goal and get yourself through to the next round.
He was looking very much like being a Pochettino favourite until he had a bad injury, and Chelsea might be in business again here, but Martinez once more is so alert and aware, and has come out very quickly to intercept and clear the ball to safety. Final minute of the 90, Chelsea in a hurry to get on with things. They've got themselves a throw or a free kick. Referee is just telling John McGinn it is going to be a throw.
Yeah, really
30
good
seconds to play.
Really good goalkeeping. He's been alive every time the ball's gone over the top, and there's an opportunity for any of the Chelsea front players to get in on goal. If it's in and around the box, he's been there. He's been out quick and dealt with it.
And Palmer's offside, and Chelsea have done that a few times where they've been able to look along the line and then not played the right pass. And meanwhile, here is change for Villa. Leon Bailey, for whatever amount of injury time we're going to have, is going to come on, but feels a little bit pointless at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I feel like, he, especially Bailey, I think he's one of them players that could really change a game, and he's probably been given 3 minutes, I think, and I understand that you don't want to lose the game, and your shape's really working, and they have been the better side this second half, and they've been going forward with a lot better rhythm, and they've been counter-attacking. But if you want to go and win the game, he's the player to come on early and change it, and he's got 3 minutes to now put his side through.
Yeah, 3 additional minutes signalled, and we're 30 seconds into that period of added time as well. All of the fourth round ties taking place tonight are heading for replays. It's goalless between Bristol City and Nottingham Forest, 1-1 between Sheffield Wednesday and Coventry. They all kicked off at the same time as this game, which is into injury time, as I say. Spurs Man City kicked off 15 minutes later. That is still 0-0, and you can hear commentary of the closing stages of that over on 5 Live. Breuer battling with Longley for the ball, and it's spun the way of Cole Palmer now for Chelsea. Will there be one more chance in the game? Both sides have had their moments, but neither of them have been able to convert one of them until now. Here is Moreno for Villa, midway inside the Chelsea half. 90 seconds have gone of the 3 additional minutes that were signalled. Here is Diego Carlos for Consa, knocking it around inside their own half at the moment, Villa. Longley now with a forward pass into the feet of McGinn, who spins it out to Moreno, tight to the left side, back in field to John McGinn, centre field at the moment, down the line. That's an intelligent pass. Chelsea switched off a bit. Watkins has got across to get it, and now offloads from McGinn, who's got to the byline. What's the cross like? It's taken a touch off Badiashile. It'll be a Villa corner in the final minute of added time.
McGinn's done really well tonight. I think he's bossed that midfield. He's been everywhere as well, because that first half he was out on the right hand side, but he's been coming in. He's coming into the middle of the play. He's been linking up well. He's kept hold of the ball so well. He's got his team up the pitch, and he's put some vital tackles in, running back and helping his defence. So I think he's played really well.
Corner then for Villa. 30 seconds of the 3 added minutes remaining, and the corner towards the near post was nearly met. It's going to come back for Douglas Luiz to have another bite of the cherry, but he's tried to dribble beyond Cole Palmer, who stood his ground well, and it's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, very well defended by Palmer there. He's just using his body, getting himself in front of Douglas Luiz and shepherding the ball out for a goal kick. But it's a game of missed chances for me. The amount of chances that Chelsea had in the first half, where they've just had the ball over the top and it's been a cross from the right or from the left, and it's just been cut back, and the pass has just not been good enough. It's either gone to the keeper or it's been into an Aston Villa player. They should have been 2-3 up, but then again, if you look at the Villa chances, Tielemans should have hit the target from the ball that got cut into the inside the box right at the end of the first half. Really disappointing final end product from both teams.
And that is that. It will go to a replay at Villa Park.